halfway through a tool, you need something only the person can give you. Maybe a choice, maybe an API key, and those two are not the same because one of them the spec forbids you asking for in chat. This chapter is how you ask for both, properly. Learn MCP on the NBX STUDIO. Form mode is the ordinary case. Your tool stops, describes what it needs, and hands over a schema. ctx.elicit takes a message the person will read, and a pedantic model describing the shape of the answer, so the client can render a real form with a labeled field instead of guessing from prose. The schema is deliberately restricted to flat, primitive fields, strings, numbers, booleans, enums, because every client has to be able to draw that form, and nobody draws an arbitrary nested object well. A string field with a title and a description becomes a labeled text input. An enum becomes a picker, which means the person can't mistype the answer. And what elicit returns carries an action, which is the field people forget to check. Now the important one, and it's a rule rather than a preference. The specification says servers must not use form mode to ask for passwords, API keys, access tokens, or payment details. Must not, because anything typed into a form travels back through the client and through whatever happens to be logging there. So for those, you use URL mode. Your tool hands back a link, the person opens it in a real browser, and the secret goes straight from them to you without ever crossing the client or the model's context. ctx.elicit URL takes the message, the URL, and an ID you'll use to track that particular handoff. There's a subtlety here that causes real bugs. What the client sends back only says the person consented to open the link, not that they finished whatever was on the other side. The interaction happens out of band, so the client genuinely doesn't know how it went, which is exactly why you passed an ID. Your server tracks that handoff itself and decides when it's done. When it is done, you tell the client with send elicit complete, and the original call can carry on. This same shape is how third-party OAuth works in MCP. Your server acts as an OAuth client to Stripe or GitHub, and the tokens it receives never touch the MCP client at all. The spec requires that, because a server passing someone else's token back through the client is a security hole with a name, token pass-through. Every elicitation can end three ways, and treating the result as a Boolean is the bug people ship. Accept means the person filled the form in and submitted, and only then does result.data hold anything at all. Decline means they explicitly said no, they read the request and refused. And cancel means they dismissed it, closed the dialog, pressed escape, clicked away. Those last two are genuinely different, and the difference changes what your tool should do next. A decline is an answer, so offering an alternative is reasonable. A cancel isn't an answer at all, so asking again later is reasonable. Handle all three explicitly, because a tool that reads a dismiss dialog as a refusal will quietly stop offering something the person actually wanted. 1. To check you've got the rule. Your tool needs the user's Stripe secret key. Which mode? Form mode, with a string field marked secret. Or URL mode, sending them to a page you host. Have a think and pause if you'd like a moment. Ready? URL mode, and it isn't a style choice. The spec says servers must not request credentials through form mode because that data passes through the client on its way back to you. 3 lines. Form mode asks in the room, against a flat schema. URL mode sends them out of the room and is mandatory for anything secret. And every answer is accept, decline, or cancel. 3, never 2. 1 chapter left, where we put the whole protocol back together and sort what's current from what's on its way out.